Somehow I managed to read not 1 or 2 or 3, but 4 queer books this November. Let me explain how that happened, because it surely was not intentional. Firstly, I picked up probably what has been my most anticipated release of the year, and that is Alexandria Bellefleur's The Devil She Knows. This book I had been so overhyped for, and I think it set me up for failure. Your main character, Sam, happens to meet the devil in an elevator and kind of makes a you meet a genie, you get 3 wishes situation happen, and you spend Sam's opportunities to wish for anything she wants in the world trying to get her ex-girlfriend back. But to me, I wasn't invested in that journey because I wasn't bought into believing in Sam, believing in the devil, or believing in Sam's ex-girlfriend. Like, I didn't have any level of investment in anybody's outcomes or happiness because I think we spent too much time understanding the mechanics of this elevator situation and not enough time getting to enjoy anything from our main characters. As somebody who had a really high expectation from previous experience reading this particular author's character building and story building and relationship building, I was just let down, and that is heartbreaking to say. And I love Alexandria Bellefleur's other standalone, that's WLW, Fiancé Farce. Like, it is definitely top tier on my favorite shelf, and I love the Written in the Stars trilogy by the same author, but it sent me on a journey of picking up a different queer book that I know would be ultimate redemption, and that is Mrs. S by K. Patrick. This was an insane read. Something about this book so quickly turned a little key in my head and unlocked all of these memories of when I not necessarily first came out, but first started to realize that I was queer, and then look back and analyze past relationships or ways that I idealize other people, particularly women or maybe older women who I wanted to be like. This is about a woman who goes to work at an all-girls boarding school, and she is in her young 20s, and she goes on to completely lust after the headmaster's wife in that constant battle of like, do I want to be like them or do I want to be with them situation, which I feel like is all too common when you are queer, that is typically like an older person because you're justifying that they are setting an example that you would like to follow. It feels like a game of chess is being played, but like you're aware that maybe your main character is the only person playing this game of chess because everything is being overanalyzed in her head, which kind of creates a bit of an unreliable narrator situation because you're so grounded in her reality. But also, to me, that was just like the draw to me rooting for this main character, which was crazy. Another thing that I think is really important to note here is that this felt queer. It was not about being queer, becoming queer, finding out that you're queer, or anything like that. But yes, it centered around a queer relationship, but it was written so gay. Like, I just need to explain, but I do not have the words for how queer this feels. Because reading this feels like lusting after your favorite character in a TV show when nobody knows why she's your favorite. You're reading this just feeling like, oh girl, I get you, and I'm so sorry. Like, this is a canon event that you just have to go through, and you will move on. And you will move on, and it will be okay. But like, unfortunately, we all have to go through this on some level. Unfortunately for you, main character, like, you're really deep in it. Like, this is a real life person. This is tied to your career. So that sucks. I do not think this is a read for straight people. I don't think they would get it. Miss S by K. Patrick is for sure ending up on my favorite books of 2025 list. I Love You So Much, It Is Killing Us Both by Mariah Stovall was my book club read of the month. It was my girlfriend's pick, so that's why it's gay. This is one of those situations where the blurb of the book is nothing like the story. It does not let you know that this story is so heavily centered around very, very graphically depicted eating disorders. And I am saying that because I don't even think that I should put this book out there and say, check the trigger warnings and be vague about it. I read the blurb and then I read the story waiting for the blurb to happen. You are following a main character who is obsessed with music, loves going to concerts. And if that is a hobby that you have, that aspect of this book is written very, 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 very convincingly. Like, the experience that your main character has going to shows and the way that that is depicted and the way that that is worded back is, it makes you feel like you're holding onto a barricade. It makes you feel like you're waiting in a concert hall before something starts, or frantically leaving after something has ended. But I basically just sat down and read this book in 2 sittings, essentially. And that helped me understand that your main character is just like devolving into like succumbing to the state of her being. And that is very, very sad and very, very like painful to witness. A+ on diverse word choice here, Stovall. Like, you are using words that are not complex or unknown, but words that I would never ever think to use in my normal vocabulary. So you'll be reading and you'll get to a word and just be like, oh, forgot that word existed. If you are an annotator, this is probably your dream. But I'm not an annotator, and I would like to read something where I am just deeply in the world of the character, and here you are reading about the character. I will say though, this is another beautifully designed book. Like, this cover has a lot of textures going on. You've got gloss, you've got matte, and then you've got like a rough finish on the letters. This book is beautiful. So then I needed something that I would also read quickly, just to kind of like get me back into wanting to pick up a book. I said that The Devil She Knows was my most anticipated release of the year, but that's because I didn't know until very, very recently that We Fell Apart by E. Lockhart was gonna come out. What the heck are these sprayed edges? What are these? What are these? Because this was a new release, like, I bought this one because like this is what was at the store. But bro, white pages. I don't need sprayed edges. I am the world's #1 hater on sprayed edges. We Were Liars is a book that I remember where I was when I read it. I remember what the light was like in the room. I remember what I did when I finished the book. I remember how I felt. Like, I vividly remember everything about what was going on when I read that book because it blew my mind that hard. I love We Were Liars. When E. Lockhart came out with Family of Liars, the like follow-up to it a couple years ago, I was like, great, cool, like it's really fun to go back to that world. We Fell Apart came out as a companion novel too, which I'm putting air quotes around that because this completely spoils We Were Liars for you. So if you pick this up because it is new and it is shiny, you're getting ruined for the other books. So don't do that. Don't do that unless you are like me and you know that you already like the We Were Liars world that E. Lockhart has built. With that being said though, if you know We Were Liars, you know what E. Lockhart is going to do here. Every detail feels significant, and then you know that some details will be significant, therefore everything feels like the stakes are really high and you really want to know like how the living room is organized, right? Or keeping track of the background characters. And that creates too many opportunities for you to understand where it's going to go. This is written for a slightly younger audience, but it is still very, very mature in a way where when I'm blowing through this book, I'm like, is it because of the formatting? Is it because of the length of the book? Is it because of the writing? Is it because I'm obsessed? Is it all 4 of those things? Is it something that, is there a secret sauce in here that is just addicting that I don't know about? You get taken to a very similar setting, a beachfront property, with a lot of amenities, and you get to explore that and you get to step into that world, and it feels so much like the first time. So do I think that We Fell Apart is neck and neck with We Were Liars? No. We Were Liars will always have like a nostalgic element to me, but We Fell Apart really rises up close because it brings me right back to where I was and how I felt reading We Were Liars. This to me was better than getting the like sequel or like the following book to We Were Liars. This was a better experience. This was a better gift as a fan of E. Lockhart's initial book. In the theme of reads being queer, I picked up Everything Dead and Dying issue 3. I love this. This feels like early Walking Dead to me. The art is beautiful, the family dynamic is really, really interesting, and every single issue leaves me wishing it didn't come out once a month. Blood and Thunder issue number 7 came out this month. I'm still really, really enjoying this world. It is about a main character with a sentient gun who is kind of just helping her through her job of capturing aliens, and the world building is really, really rich, and it is just a very cool societal system that they have going on here. A really fun read, really fun coloring too. The next book, Exquisite Corpses, has been like for 7 issues now my most anticipated pickup when I go to New Comic Book Day. I take this home and I want to read it immediately. Like, I don't even want to drive my car away from the parking lot. Like, I do want to just read these. We're getting there. Like, we're getting toward the end, but I'm still just as hooked. And I think part of that is because this is like a battle royale situation. It's giving Fortnite, it's also giving the Hunger Games. And so, like, you know what the formula is for each issue. You're gonna go and somebody's gonna get eliminated, and then you're gonna go on to the next book, and then somebody's gonna get eliminated, and then you're gonna go on to the next book, and somebody's gonna get eliminated. Like, just one by one, we're knocking people out issue by issue. So now that we're on 7, we're really dwindling down to like who we think will win the whole thing, and the stakes feel like they're getting higher as we get closer. So despite each book having pretty much the same formula going on, it makes you more and more tied into what the outcome will be. And then I'm reading 2 Spider-Mans. I'm reading and really, really enjoying Spider-Man Noir, which issue 2 came out this month. And then I am actually 1 issue behind, but I am still reading The Amazing Spider-Man, which is got a lot going on. So these are my reads for November. I haven't been tracking my comic books all year, but I think I should start. So that's easy enough to do. And I have started and will be going into December with a reread of Lord of the Flies. It is really hard to me sometimes to pick up and read something that is like bright and bubbly and just fun when the world doesn't always feel that way. And so that's what drove me to pick up and reread Lord of the Flies, because I think this feels gritty and this feels like how I feel our world currently is. I would like to experience a little bit less escapism, and this feels more right, because unfortunately when I do pick an escapism read and I really, really crush it, I'm inevitably just like really sad to return to the normal world. So let's pick something devastating.